All right.
All right, and we are here with another Woods Tourney matchup. We got a matchup between John Bond, Matty Kleiss, Noodle Drip, and our fearless leader Anish. And I'm commentating here with my boy Albert. Albert, what do you think? What do you think about this board? Where do you think you're placing if you're going first?
For sure. So right off the bat, I see some great wheat numbers. Two sixes, but by that desert, the second one. So because there's ore heaven over there. I would probably go either 5, 9, 10 to ore and a wheat, or going first. I'd probably go there. That or the 6, 5, 11 seems pretty good too. But I'd probably want two better ore numbers, closing off
Yeah,
that hex for that 9 pretty much.
yeah, all the ore is definitely clustered. That's definitely gonna play a role late, and I think the 5 and 9 prioritizing that early. I think you might be right. Despite the bad numbers of not having an 8 and a 6, the 5, 9, 10 have to be appealing for the city game late.
You see, it would never get back around to you, but that brick port's really enticing if you found a way to get on that brick hex and then build your way over there. But yeah, there's a lot of really good spots I can see. Do you wanna take control of roads? I mean, look at the 8-4-3 is always appealing. If Matt was here, he'd be playing that road game. But yeah, this first placement's going to tell us a lot. Once we see where they want to go, I think we'll trickle in and see some strategies go out. In terms of ports, though, I mean, if you want to only play that ore and wheat, like we were talking about, the ore port's kind of isolated by that 6-2. So you could play that game if you really wanted to. But as we see our first placement, 5-10-4, right next to the one we were just talking about, it was the decision you had to make. Someone is going to have to take the 5-12-6 down the road. Probably someone who's going last, who's what, noodle drips? Yeah.
And for those of you that watched our previous game that Anish was in along with me, the 5, 10, and 4 was Anish's entire game, and as you saw, it had some great payoff down the line.
I
I'm
haven't
a little
I
amazed
haven't
that
seen
he's
a
going
game
for it
where
again.
I haven't seen a game where there was no wheat to pick up in a while. So that was definitely wheat, sorry, sheep. No sheep to pick up for a while. So that was very impressive to see.
Just Deep Nation 5s and 10s, and that was the game. And you gotta say, going for it again, he must be feeling a certain way about that 5 and 10.
Where would you go from here, though? Do you think playing the road game would be smart, or you think that's going to be a later strategy down the road? The 8-4-3 seems too powerful to me, unless you wanted to take the wheat 6-4-3 and then grab resources somewhere else. Maybe like the wow, eights and threes can be roads though, Gene. You can play
Threes
the fourth
are roads.
game. You can just you can play the road game. But with such bad brick numbers, only having threes and fours, and you said it best in your game last time. I really don't like not being on the four. I really
I
need
know
the four.
you hate not being on a four.
Yeah,
Um,
I
but
you don't play fun at the start, but you hate not being on that four.
for me, I'm looking at the 8, 3, 10 or the 6, 11, 4 out the gate. I think getting three different resources and also having the opportunity to build some roads to get around, that's very important, especially in the 4 man game. You got to get moving quick to cut people off, or you get isolated. And there we see the 8, 3, 10 right there. That's probably the play that I'd go for. You get a little bit of road production, you throw in some sheep, and when you come back around, there's a good chance that the six wheat down on the bottom is still open if you really need a wheat number.
Oh, for sure. And from this point, I think there's only two logical options to go. I think you have to go the 5-11-6. So you grab some ore, grab some a great wheat number and some sheep, or we can get spicy and go the 9-5-10 over there,
I wouldn't
which
sleep
is
on that 8, 4, 3 down low. Three different resources. You get probably a decent amount of that side to yourself. I'm not expecting a very heavy play between the 3, 6, and 2, unless if it's just out of necessity. But there's a lot of good numbers still out there. I think that the 8, 4, 3 gives you a really good shot to expand late game.
Yeah, I mean, it always depends on your play style. Like we said, we were just talking about the port strategy. There's a lot of 3-1 ports down there, so it's not too enticing for me. Where if you go on the 9-5-10 and then maybe snag the 5-11-6, you have the sheep port and you're on two sheep numbers, or you should win the sheep port, I should say. But I doubt someone would build on the 5-2, you know. So it's the sheep port looks very enticing. I really do think when this is all said and done, if no one is near Anish, he might take the ore port and grab that 6-2 if he wants to be spicy, of course. Okay,
Yeah, but
getting
I expect the ore
getting the
to
brick
get a
makes
little
sense.
piled up here. I wouldn't
Ooh,
be
that
surprised if we see a six
let
five
me tell
twelve
you,
placement.
that 6-4-3 brick can be really interesting here if he wants to monopolize some brick and then take the honestly the 10-9-5 I wouldn't mind also, but I really don't like being on ore in normal Catan. Again, we play a lot of cities, so the strategy is definitely different. We'd be fighting over wood right now. But in terms of uh normal Catan, I really wouldn't like missing out on some ore right now, especially when it's on a 5 and a 9. I would probably monopolize it here, or at
Um,
least get
I
that six
I
five
wouldn't
twelve.
hate that, but I could see the play on the 8-4-3 with the second settlement being on the 6-5-12, setting you up for two rolls in your city. I mean,
But how
getting the
many?
early city in a 10-point game could be really big.
You know, it seems like a dev carve game isn't really going to happen. Though is the thing.
Not a lot of
So I
seeds.
agree with you that if you want to go for just a city right out the gate, you got to do it. You got to commit to it. That 10 sheep and the 4 sheep are your best numbers. There's 2-11 sheep. If it was a 3 and 11, you can justify. There it is. We're taking the ore, monopolizing it. I
No,
could
but I gotta
almost
say,
see.
I think this is placed backwards. I think that should have been the second settlement to give you a wheat and two ore. I can't see the other way working out better.
Oh,
I
I
think
agree with
getting that
that one.
city early, and yeah, it's the exact thing, but I really think that you got to prioritize getting that city. Granted, you're getting a road out of it. You do get a road, but
That's
then you
one
got to get
argument.
four pieces to the settlement as opposed to a 6 and 5, and you're cooking.
Two roads
And
though. He is on the.
mhm.
I am surprised we're building up. The reason why I say that is I really expect someone to take that 6-4-3 probably on this next placement. No, Blue's already on it. Um, Maybe in two placements that 6-4-3 I could see being taken. It's an interesting
Um,
spot. Maybe, maybe not. Again, depends the game you want to play. I like being personally on all resources. There it is. On a 3-1 port, getting some ore out of it.
and all five
You took,
resources. That's a five
yeah,
resource game automatically early.
this can be interesting. This is where, wow, Anish is going to have a choice. If no one takes that 9-5-10, I think he's on the same
Playing fives
resources.
and
He might
tens
hop
again.
on it. Yeah,
uh,
listen,
I love it.
he'd be close to the wheat port. He'd be close to the sheep port. He'd be close to the ore port. He would have all control of every major port essentially. He could even
Yeah.
race his way to the brick port, but he's on brick. But you get my point. It's
Now, if you're Noodle Drip, do you think that that road went upwards with the long-term plan of getting the wood port and wrapping the eight? Or do you think that that's just a way too far down the road? He's not going to get there in time to even have a shot at that.
I think honestly he's trying to aim for that 4-6-11 right off the bat. No one's going to challenge him obviously on the 12-11 on the other side. So it all depends on where these next two placements are. I think I do agree with you. No matter which way he did it, it was a mistake. He should have tried to go for that city right off the bat. We already know that a 6 or a 5 is coming on this first roll right here, and he's going to be one piece away because that's just how it works. Just like blackjack 16, here comes that 5 incoming for the dealer. Like
Every
we already
time.
know it's there. We already know it's there. So it doesn't. That's going to be definitely a mistake to come out. But I do like the road play always. Let's be honest. But Red will be able to move a little bit.
Now, this is interesting because if I'm
That's
in this,
I'm
there's a lot that you could do here on the right side. But he's got to lock himself to the five again. I mean, do you do that or
I
Do you think
think
that he tries to fight the good fight on the 6-4-11 and get more resources?
all right. Yeah, he's not on any brick or any wood, so no matter what building's gonna be a problem with him. I would, if I
So
were him, probably go 9-10-5 and go for that sheep port, just like we saw in the earlier recap that we were talking about. Just
yeah,
because he'll be on the two best sheep numbers, and if he gets one city, he's producing.
well, big thing about the way Anish plays is Anish is a Porter Perry. He
Hmm.
really likes his ports, and so I could see him going up top with the devilish thoughts of going north, cutting off everybody, and winning the race to the 3-1 port up north,
That
or like that, going east, and he's gonna try to get the seat port with the
12,
4-10.
but all right. All we gotta say is the 12 got there, but either way, he still got an or out of it. We just knew it
He
was
got north. He got
coming.
north.
I will say, love that play because he's gonna go for that sheep port, and a little bit of luck, he might even get more ore numbers. He'll have every port in the game right now. He's one
I'm
road away
having
from the wheat, and he's
PTSD.
one road away from the sheep.
Albert, I'm having
So
PTSD. He's on the fives and
yeah,
tens again, and fives and tens are dev cards.
it's. I really like that place. That's exactly how I would have played. I almost played the 5-9-10 early. We just talked about that. That almost was what would have been my third or fourth placement just from what I was liking, what I was seeing.
Well,
But
what's a unique
only time will tell.
strategy? He's the only. I mean, him and Blue both are not on sixes or eights, and
But the only ones
you
on
know
sheep,
you,
it's
you see red and orange took advantage of the six and the eight. So it's going to come down to, do we get a normal dice roll? And there's the road getting to 6-4-11, which he prioritized early. Perhaps he was right and we were wrong, and he's going to get the settlement down early and cut everyone off.
But hear me out. What if he builds one more road? If because he will have the resources to do it. If he builds one more road and tries to settle on that 6-4-3, if it pays out that way, obviously it's too early to tell. But if he cuts him off there, not only is his brick production huge, but also he's just one road away from getting that 11-4. He's cutting off everyone. Like I like both spots. It depends how the dice rolls. If there's a lot of eights and threes in the games, he's set. But it's interesting. I definitely wouldn't love to be in that position. I love Anish's position. I'm just gonna keep saying it. For going first, he's set.
I mean,
He's
I told you
probably
straight up,
really
noodle drip
five and
placements would have been mine, and I mean that gives me a real good reason to root for noodle drip to take the W on that.
think about it this way, Gene. Fives and tens are going to be dev cards right now. He's playing a huge dev card game. He probably is close to a city in his hand right now with 9 cards. And
Nine parts, he's got to be
you
pretty
know,
close. But problem is, he needs to get that road down to do anything. And now a timely seven really hurts. He's got to discard 4 cards, and I mean that's starting a dev card at this point. You don't like to see it, but he gets hit really hard early, and he
he
throws
got
out
rid of his wood though. I think
a
his city's
wood, a
still there.
sheep, and 2 wheat. It could be
Maybe
a
it depends
city, or he
further.
could just be plucking a dev card here and just seeing what he can grab early.
What do you block here though? Yeah. Okay. I think that's his biggest competition currently.
Yeah, I mean, early I think red is the competition, because if red starts mobilizing and gets over there, and big thing, he blocks not only the only city material red has, but also the only settlement wheat that they will have.
Yeah,
And then you see early noodle
based on what
drip
he's
did
looking
not
to
start with the wheat.
trade. Yeah, based on what he's looking to trade, he probably does have a depth card in his hand, right? Looking to trade that wheat, looking to trade that sheep.
He's just trying to get rid of whatever he can. He's like, I just
Yeah,
need something that's gonna help me out here.
it's too much. There it is. He had
And
too
they
much
just
ore in his
trade
hand.
him a city.
Yeah,
That's honestly, I can't get down with trading there unless if they're getting a point back and it's a win-win trade. I mean, we'll see when the turn comes around, but I don't know, giving him that with that much power in his hands, that's a little hard to say that you can do. But I mean, we'll see on Red's turn if they could get that settlement down.
it's a matter of now. He's 2 5s away from a city. It's it's pretty. He gets 2 ore every
Fives
time.
are cities. Fives are cities. And
I
not
would
only
love for him
that,
to get on a
tens
different.
are dominant too. It's just the dev card games can get rolling really quick.
So we were just talking about the sheep and how important that is. Because he's playing the dev card game, that road builder to build to the 10-8 and get the wood would be an interesting thing to see also, in my opinion.
Get to
Um,
the 8-10 and cut off blue.
he cuts off everyone there, and red is not mobilizing unless he's building on the desert. Blue's not going anywhere because he still wins that battle 9 times out of 10 to that 9-12 or somewhere in that area to that brick port. He can hold every port in the game. That's just how I'm seeing it.
Now, do you think that it was a bit of a misplay by Orange on the south of the board, going with the road along the outer edge with the 6? Do you think they should have went upwards, but they cut into the 6-2 and get more resources? Or what do you think of that?
I think regardless, his plan is going to wrap around that 6 anyway. So probably would have been more efficient to do that. I agree. But I'm still a little confused with that placement itself.
I
If
mean,
he was
that's
gonna
just a
place
3-1
there, I
port, but they could get a
yeah,
three to
but
one port
if he was gonna
easily up
place
top.
there, I would have placed on the 6-4-3 and got an extra brick number out of it, and then you're fighting to race exactly where they are right now, where he's trying to trade for the settlement. We see. That's just me personally, but again, being by yourself is never a bad thing. But what's the ore port gonna do for him? Absolutely nothing.
You know what? I do
Um,
want to take a second here. Look at how dispersed they are. The road game, if red gets cut off across the middle of the board, the road game is anyone. Because blue is nowhere near each other, black is nowhere
yep,
near each other, and orange on complete other sides of the map. So we could see someone secure longest row with 5 roads, and that may be a serious winning strat down the line.
as funny as it is, I think black has the best chance for longest road. I think he's the only one that's close enough. But again, he doesn't
But
have the
black has no
materials to
brick.
do it. So
Yeah,
yeah. So again, if he pulls that road builder, it'd be enticing to see. And we're offering 2 wood for that ore right now. We are
yeah.
desperate. We're trying.
Just
Maybe.
trying to get anything down right now. I mean,
Oh,
even sitting on 7 cards, yeah.
wow.
Again, it's got to be a win-win because that's trading away a city on a big spot and immediately paying
So
off.
much brick just get into the game.
Immediately paid off.
Again, I think if Red has a chance to build 2 roads and cut off everyone there, I think settling on the 6-4, it's gonna be close right here, and there it is. Okay.
Oh, that's big. And now we kind of see why that trade was beneficial for Orange. Orange was able to secure a really important spot, and now just
And
cut them off. That's
yeah,
it. Blue is
and look
now
how close he is
struggling.
to that wheat port. You
Blue now
know,
has a useless road and is boxed in on the other side with the other road. They got to get 2 roads down to even get anywhere in the game. And I think Blue's going to
now,
fall
Gene,
behind early because of that.
if you're black, do you build to the wheat port first because it takes you one less road to do it, and that ruins his entire game, and you're on 2 wheat numbers, or do you prioritize getting that sheep port?
Um, I guess that depends because technically road builder you could do them both. You know, you do it at the same
I
time.
mean,
But
we talked about
I
that. If
think
he pulls the road builder,
I mean mathematically, here's the thing: 5 and 10 is better than 4 and 10. So I would say the wheat port to come first. He's also not fighting anybody for the sheep port. No one's over there. He could be in a legitimate race for that wheat port though. And I know Orange is thinking about that.
yeah,
Orange has both 6 wheat. So that wheat port, if a Nis could pounce on that and take it immediately, he's good. I might even consider building 2 roads just to block off Orange from getting to the 10 wheat port.
I think only if you pull a road builder you may do that. The only reason why I say that is roads are so scarce for him.
Yeah, roads are
It's
scarce, but if it gives you the pocket to just sit there and build it when you need to build it and never get cut off, it might be worth.
yeah, and especially tens become anything you want. Then also, it can become any resource. So, he would then have fives would nearly be a city, and then a 10 would be any resource he wants, and then he's 1 road away from getting sheep, where 2 numbers are almost anything he wants. It's the power is insane. I think if he builds out to the sheep, it's the better option. Sorry, the wheat. It's a better option. If we want
Now
to be
you
more
gotta like the
technical, we can
block
call it
there.
grain.
You gotta like the block there by Red, because Red's just
Of
saying,
course.
"Hey, I'm the only one with bricks in this game. You're not getting any brick on the three. I'm the only one getting brick." And there goes Anish eating on those fives again. He's got to have a city ready to go on one more five. And
Yeah,
honestly, if
he's
he
one
takes
away for
off,
sure.
it's gonna run away. And I see this being a two-horse game unless if Orange can get that wheat port before Anish gets there.
The hard four. Who said that? Who said that?
Who said that? 7-1.
8
Somebody's
to one,
saying.
baby. Is it 7-1?
It's 7-2-1, but some places listed as 8-4-1 to trick you.
Gotcha.
And this getting perhaps a big wood? Question mark? Whoa.
Pause. Double pause.
Double pause.
If he rolls a 5 here, the game's over. I don't think anyone will stop this powerhouse. He'll
Well,
have too much power.
keep in mind he's still gotta get down the actual road to move. Like he could get 4 points, he could pull depth cards. He does have one in hand, that's worth noting.
He does have one
But
in hand. Yeah, I was
if
about to say
he
that.
doesn't get roads down, he can't do anything. He can't get above 4. I mean, granted, he could have victory points in hand. He could pull the knights, and now he pulls another depth card. So, I mean, a lot of
Uh,
power early for Anish. And honestly, if I'm everyone else, I might even be targeting him. I'm a little scared of that. But I
well, I
mean,
mean,
early game,
he's
no one's
tied for
paid
winning
him
the
off
game.
yet.
He's tied for winning the game. You got to target him regardless, right? Right.
I mean, he could have 2 in pocket. He could have 5.
Oh, the finally got his wood. You know, if he's sitting on that year plenty, hopefully.
Well, he's
If
got
I'm
two.
if
He's
I'm
got
him,
two woods in hand.
I definitely want anything other than city materials. If I'm him right now, I agree. I mean, if you can city that fast, though, again, he's 2 5s away from getting it done. If you can do it, you should do it. But
This has got to be a city play for Blue. I think Blue is sitting one card off the city and is trying really desperately to get that wheat. There hasn't been a lot of tens, but there was like 4 9s. You got to assume that they're sitting on one wheat and at least 3 ore. And I mean, they, like we said, they
wow,
don't
I
have
played
much
the
of a
depth
game
card.
otherwise.
7, always good to have 7
Now, I do want to point out, Blue built a road in the middle of the map,
for no
and it's a
reason. Yeah,
road to nowhere. Like, I don't know what that road was. You can't settle there. You can't settle on the next hex. The closest you could settle is the 411 desert, and that's building 3 roads to go that way. Well, would you have not just built the one road to go to the 810 and just at least lock up something?
yeah, I probably would have built it at least down if you're over there, and then he can tripod around that 911 desert. And then he's on 2 sheep numbers that way too. Great settlement by Red. Red is going to be scary if Black can't get everything down soon.
Yeah, I mean, this could be a runaway, and if Red gets 2 roads going to the 3-1 port, it could get very scary because then they're on 2 8 wood numbers, and the 3-1 is right there. I mean, a wood would be any material if they could get to that hex.
The problem with this game is everyone's on like the same numbers. Doesn't really help.
Yeah,
You
no,
know,
no
Orange is
one's gonna
only
trade
on
with you
six
in this.
threes.
They're not giving it to you, bud.
Ooh,
Ooh,
oh,
city material. He's got to be one off of the city, and that's he's trying really hard to get that city.
oh, he's trying very hard.
3 for 1. I might consider this. I mean, three
They all
cards for
deny it.
one.
Ooh,
That is. We're seeing red contemplate. I'm gonna be honest. If I'm a niche, I'm not trading with red. I'm not doing it. I don't care. I'll wait and I'll hope for a 5, and maybe on the next turn I'll make a decision. But that's that's kind of hard to, turn down 3 cards for one, especially in a 4-man game.
ooh, there's that 4 though. Never mind, it's a 9. My
Big
screen lied
nine,
to me.
baby. The big
Shows a
nine. Oh, and that's
Oh,
big.
and there he
That's
is.
huge. Orange is in this game now. And I think
Black
that
better
that
get down on
10
that
just
sheep
gave Anish
instantly,
his
or
city. And let's not forget, we said 5 roads could be the ticket. Orange is sitting on 4. You could practically count it as 6 roads. They build 2 more, they get to that seaport, and we're talking about a ball game.
there are those tripods I was talking about.
You gotta love the tripod.
You gotta love the tripod. You know, it's strategy for the reason. It works great. I think red really should build on probably the 3-1 port and get on that wood, and then start working towards um the wood port over there. Or we can also see him start working towards some ore. I mean, he's on great ore numbers, but why not lock it up, right?
I think it
Or
depends how
or
many
the eight
bricks come
four.
here for red. Because if red gets 2 bricks, I could see 2 roads going to the 8-4 with the 3-1 port, and that would be what I'd be
Stop the
focusing
tripod
more.
and everything. Yeah,
I mean, Anish isn't going to be able to mobilize unless he has a road builder. Blue is kind of just in no man's land and is putting indication that, hey, I need that 9-2 to even get points. And there's a
so
3,
much
and
brick
now
in the
we
game.
could see. We could see when red's turn comes around what's going to go on. But I
I
think
think he's gonna have
Anish
to have
City's
a
here.
city.
Yeah, I mean, he
Yeah,
just got the 10 before, and he was sitting about a weed off. So I think it's a clear city, and then maybe he'll have a dev card left over. Um, oh, the mono for the brick, and Anish is on the move. Wow, he
dirty,
takes 7 bricks.
dirty.
The 3 was so big for that.
Get
The
him to
3
the brick
brought six
port.
bricks
Get
into
him
the
to the brick.
game. Yeah, give him the brick port.
Get
Get
him
him
to
to
the brick
something.
port. I don't even think he wanted the brick. It's just a matter of he had to take it.
Yeah, I mean, roads are so hard for him to come by. And even 1 road, yeah,
There's
getting
one.
down 1 road and then settling there, that is really big for his game. He lost the
There
wheat
it is.
port, he's 1 turn late, and he's probably still got a city in hand.
Dev card and still holds 7 cards. I can imagine what
He's got still
two,
he still
three
has
bricks
he still
still
has
in there,
5 bricks. He still has 5 bricks because he wrote it and settled, so he still has 5 bricks in hand.
and there it is, starting to work towards the brick port.
He
Look
wants
at
that brick port's in your head. He's looking for that 11-4, more seat production, and he's got the 2-1 on it. So, I mean, we could see him on 3 of the 4 sheep hexes.
I didn't realize which way the road was built.
The
That
brick
would do
port's
it.
just running through your head.
Against that brick port, you know I'm not brick.
So, mid game look here. I mean, it's looking like a 3-horse race. Blue's kind of falling out. And who do you think you're favoring right now after we're all sitting at 4 and we got a few dev cards hiding behind?
You know, if Orange gets a couple of okay rolls his way, I think he can do some damage. He just got that. He really needs to get a city down on one of those 6 wheat. He'll be set.
Hmm.
Enough to mobilize. 1 road away from getting longest road. So let's put him at 6 points right now. You know,
Now, I
it's
mean,
interesting.
not to ask the obvious question, but are you sitting the 6-3 or the 6-4-3?
Well, boy, if you ask me, I know which one I'm going to.
That's right. The
More brick
the
the better,
10
right?
steep on the port, baby.
Um, we play a friendly robber here. If you settle on that desert, you get an extra 2 points. Who said that? Traders and barbarians, right?
Ah,
But no, you know, I think Black getting to the port was huge. Especially if they get to that 11-4.
mhm.
But they're one city still away. I think if they get the 9-10-5 city that we've been wanting them to get the whole time, their game can take off. Um, you know, they haven't played one of their dev cards. They were sitting on the mono, and they just got one. But I would guess maybe one victory point behind. They haven't played any city. Oh my god, it's just the power of the 5. They haven't
The
played.
power of the 5. Fives are
There it is.
almost cities.
There it is.
Fives
You
are
know, right there.
one material off, and
And now he's
immediate
winning
payback
all
as
the
he gets
wood
two
games.
wood.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He probably has 1 brick still in there, so if he can get his road down to the 411, the game plan is looking much cleaner.
Now, I don't want to sleep on this. although I don't think it has a lot of weight for the long game. I think it'll get taken away. But Blues are road in a night away from 6 points. And I just want to put that out there.
You know, I think playing that game would be smart. Why would you build a road there?
Well, I mean, I think
Because
what's
that six
important
will
is
be
that
targeted.
we gotta remember, and there's a road. We're in it, baby. We gotta remember that this is a tournament where third place and second place get 1 point, and first gets three, fourth gets zilch. So any
Yeah, but
point,
building on,
no matter how short you hold them, can be beneficial.
but why don't you even try for the road there? A, I guess you're gonna get cut off. You're gonna lose it regardless. But B, building up to the 8-4 onto another 3-1 port, it's a lot more enticing to me. I'd rather have more mobility, and that's how you're gonna do it. But it's not my game, so we'll see.
I
I think
mean,
red is very strong right now.
you're gonna be sorry when the 12 or comes out on the next roll for the city.
Gets there. 30-1 for a reason, right? 16-1, 30-1.
You're struggling, bud.
You know how school has been.
And that's a big settlement for Orange. Now we're starting to wrap it. What did I say? What did I say? There's the 12 on cue, baby, on
I
cue, and
will
I bet
say,
that Noodle Drip City's on the next turn,
you
barring
want to
a
know that?
7. But they may have it in hand regardless, even with 4 discarded.
I was just about to say though. You know what math I am still fine at, Gene?
Back to
Still
back.
7-1. Any seven still 7-1. We bet that every time on the come out roll. Come on now.
Nope, it's not even close to 7-1. Oh, and there's the
7-1
7 that
on
we
the
were
stats
talking
board.
about. You said the
It's seven to
devil's
one.
magic of the 7, but I think that Noodle Drip still has a city in hand even after discarding. Um, and now I'm gonna say no because of the fact that they discarded 3. Or I'm curious. I guess they're going for the settlement on the 8 first, but I just don't see how you don't city the 6-5-12 if you have that opportunity.
Any or is good or.
Any or is good or. That's true. I mean, especially in the late game, you talk about pulling a dev card for that extra point. You talk about they only have one city.
It's a bold
You get
strategy
more
because,
cities down,
all
but
right,
I mean, locking up a 3-1 port, I don't hate it. As long as they got something down there, I just hate turning away 3 or when you're sitting on the 12 or you're realistic as your partial or income.
it's tough for me. You get back to settlement too when you city. I think that's always a smarter play when you can. And again, you're on the monopoly of or. You might as well use it.
And
Take
it's not like that
advantage of it.
that settlement was
But
being
again,
trapped.
I
Like
don't dislike that play, but
I don't dislike
yeah,
it, but
that's
again,
the
the
point
same
too.
way
Yeah,
as the
who's gonna
original
cut you off there?
placement, it feels backwards, you know? And that's a big settlement for Anish. Anish is roaring forward,
Let me tell you,
especially
second
I
and
think he's got one in
all
hand. I
right,
think he's sitting on 7.
he has to. He hasn't played it at all. No knights have been played yet, and knights are still up for grab. I think he has to be sitting on a VP here, and his game's looking great as long as sheep starts coming. The next city he has is that sheep, and it's no one's stopping him.
Well, let me tell you, if he pulled both monos, I want his luck because he's got a golden horseshoe. And that's what I want in life.
Is there two in there? I feel like every time we played, I haven't seen two.
There are
I
2
know in base
monos,
game,
there are 2
like the
road
card game, it
builders,
does.
2 years of plenties, I believe 14 knights, and 5 victory points,
There are plenty.
totaling
Yep. Okay.
25 cards. Um, so he pulled one of the monos. We haven't
I
seen a
want them
road
all. What a
builder. We
great
haven't
number.
seen a year of plenty. But yeah, I mean, we see an 8 here, and that's any resource for Noodle Drips, which justifies the 3-1 port. But again, I really feel like the city would have been helping more. I mean, I get the 5 or got blocked, but hey, I'm all for a 12 to give me 3 or if it's a random 12 that I'm not expecting.
This is where I can't wait to play cities and nights with them. Let me tell you, the game
Uh,
would be so spicy with these cities on the wood, and I can't wait for the day. It's gonna be fun.
I think we're a little far out from that though. I think that we're just trying to build up the characters in our entire tournament. I mean, we got up to 32 for this tournament with the top 12 securing a playoff spot. The number one goes straight to the championship. 13 through 16 get to play a lasting game for that 13 spot, and it's gonna get interesting.
Ooh,
I think there's gonna be a lot of new faces that are gonna make some noise in this league.
for sure. You know, at first I thought he was trying to go for a dev card. Now I can't really tell what he's going for.
Um, Anything that helps, but I'm not trading with him. He's at 7 points. He's If he magically puts down 3 roads, he's at 9. Like
Oof.
in my mind, that's a VP. I'm playing as if he has a VP.
Oh,
I
I
think
said
it's
that
far
too.
less likely that
I
Orange
think it's
has one, but Orange is at a standstill here because Orange has
one
no
thing
more
we
settlements.
haven't talked about. One thing we haven't talked about is the road game is a lot closer than we thought it would be.
Well, like I said,
I
I
think
think
Orange
that
has to cut
five
off red.
five was what we were looking at there. Um, and if I'm Orange, they need to place a road against the A4. But again, problem, you have 5 settlements down. You can't place another settlement, so you got to build 2 roads to block them off because you can't settle. You need a city before you settle. And blue is in the game, baby. 5 points, one night off of 7, and you gotta love what they've made of being blocked off in the entire game. They've gotten somewhere now. There's something to do.
Listen, there's a reason why you play for second and third also, right? Like this is it right here. We got heart.
Oh, and that's gotta hurt. And they're sitting at 12 cards, has to discard 6 on a timely 7. And there goes
All
6
the
wheat out
wheat.
the gate.
That means the city has to still be behind, right? If you get rid of that much wheat,
If you
wait,
got rid
there
of that
hasn't
much
really been
wheat,
Ordor.
his orange been blocked for a while. So that 7, he might take the trade off there. The fact that his ore opens up. I don't know what he could even be sitting on. I mean, he might have gotten a few 9s and he's sitting on some wood, but I mean, he does need to mobilize. He's not throwing out wood. He's saving wood over wheat right now.
Yeah. Oh, there you got a brick. So
Yeah, and that brick says I'm building a road, and now he's looking to settle on the 5 too. And once again, the 5 is his game, and it's been absurd so far this tournament. And immediately
I
Orange
don't know
says,
blocking. You
"Shut
see,
up, Anish.
right there.
I'm blocking your 5." But for me,
I
if
mean, I
I'm
really don't
Orange,
like.
I would have been blocking the 4 that just got rolled. I mean, that's 5 sheep that are coming into the game, and 3 of them are going to someone with a sheep port.
Yeah, that's it's really tough. I mean, he eats on everything right now that he needs. He's one roll away from another city, maybe another settlement at this point. Like it's uh,
I think he's
sleeping on road right
prioritizing a
now.
settlement.
Right now, though, Gene, he's at 4. He can wrap it and take it.
Yep, and a 4 just gave him half of the road. You know, he rolls a 9. He's probably got 2 roads in hand, and he can bump up to 8 points, probably 9. And
It's still a
that's kind
little
of the
too
block that
early to
I
tell. Ooh,
expected.
more sheep, the better, right? He got two. He has an entire road if he needs it now. He's got 4 sheep in hand. Whatever he rolls here is going to be a big card, dev card game maybe.
Yeah,
Look at that.
and the
He's got the whole
5,
city. He's got
the
the entire city.
city.
The
And
city,
I
and he
mean,
might still
it's
have
a
a dev card
no-brainer.
behind.
He might have a road builder behind.
Now he's
I mean,
traded for. He's going for the
he
settlement
settlement,
and then a
and
dev
I
card.
think he might have a city in hand. I mean, he's got to be very close to the city in hand. He got 2 ore. Oh yeah, that's deadly. Orange takes the knife, and that's scary. That's 2 points for someone that is, struggling to mobilize a little bit, and
And he's
also they
again.
need to get a city down, and they have no ore. And I'm not trading you ore. If I'm any of the other three players, you're not touching ore. I am wiping you out of this game as much as I can. And if I'm blue,
Let me
I'm
say,
pulling dev cards and I'm trying to take it back.
red is going to be sneaky right here. Red is one road away from taking the road, and they can settle at any point. They're sneaky right now. Now they'll be
Well, I
tapped
mean,
out on settlements.
they just got an 8, so, they're sitting there.
Oh,
It's
and they
only
just got the
12.
two hoarding. Not
No.
the 12. This has to be a road settlement. It should probably be a road settlement, just so you can lock up the longest road and settle. Doesn't even matter where you settle, but just a settlement here would be great. He's trying to get the city, you could tell.
Well, I'm sure that he could do it himself.
Wow, and this took the trade because he's got the power with the sheep. Playing the long game. Right here has to be a city on the 5-6, 5-6, 12. Yep.
Yep.
And then one more road. I'm telling you, one more road would be the play. You can do it. And he's 1 point
Yeah,
away
one
from
more
winning it
road
all.
is 9.
Yeah, he's trying to get that break. No one's going to trade you. Can't do it. We know how close you are.
Yeah, sorry, not sorry. But again, Anish to be sitting on 8 here. 2 roads wins it. You can't pass this die without doing something.
I agree. And that's definitely why trading for sheep is great, especially when he rolls it right here. Talk into existence.
That sucks. But you know what? He's got to block red in some way. And yeah, he goes straight at that wheat. Says, you're not going to
My
city.
game
That's
was
your only wheat. Good luck doing it the long way.
my game was lagging behind. That was upsetting and anticlimactic. But there's a death card. Give him the other VP. Give him the road builder. We're throwing fifth. We're
I
throwing
mean,
fifth.
anything helps there for him. Yeah, anything is good.
Two
And that 9
wood.
is big.
It's
The 9 gives him 2 wood, and a 4 is a knockout punch.
I think this is I think it's a niche game to lose at this point. I mean, actually, it's Red's game to lose just based on the position, but we still both believe that there's one VP behind there.
Yeah, but
If you got the year of
Red didn't
plenty,
get a
it's
lot of
over.
production that time around.
Gene, if he got the year of plenty, it's over. He got so much wood there. He's 2 brick away. It's over on the
The
next
year
turn.
of
So
plenty, a
we'll see in a
road
sec.
builder. Shoot, even the knight he may be able to steal what he needs. But like I said, the 4 is the knockout punch here. 4 puts it away, and I mean, assuming he has a VP, but I think it's safe assumption since he's held on to 1 the entire game as far as dev cards. The one thing you don't want to see the knight come out. If he throws out a knight, an 8 doesn't help him at all. But nothing on the dev
Ooh,
card game. Do you think he's
he's
sitting
got
on
so
2?
much.
He's got to be 2 victory points. If he didn't play anything at all, because even a mono there, he would have monoed the wood and been done.
Everyone got a lot of production there. He didn't have many cards though, and just picked up 4. Him sitting's not a bad thing, let's be honest, but I think everyone else is too close if he had anything. Assuming he has 2 VPs isn't a bad thing, but I think he may do enough to squeak a point out, right?
Well,
Yeah, it's
I
close.
think barring a 7,
Oh, he got the break
wow,
out. Look
he
what he just traded.
traded with a
Look
niche.
what
That's scary.
he's gonna because he's getting his city right here.
Yeah,
He's gonna do everything he
but
can.
still,
Yep, there's the
I mean,
ore. He got the city. So we talked about how those settlements were gonna hurt him. He needed that city.
yeah.
I
The
don't think it
problem
gets
is,
back around to him though.
this is a game where first place gets 3 and second and third get 1, and it's looking like it's going to be, who fights out for 3 points. It looks like Blue's going to fall behind and not be able to get enough points to come in second. So it's just,
For sure.
who is going to
Red
get
has
first. So if you're playing for first, you cannot trade and miss that brick. You can't.
Do we want to say it right now, Dean? Do we want to create havoc and wish for the bad number? That has to be the game. He's 1
That's gotta
away.
be.
He needs
I
1
think
road.
it's Road City right there. I think that might have been it.
If not, I'd be very surprised.
And then this
Yeah,
throws out
even
what? GG
you
question
said
mark?
it has to be right. There's no way it's not.
I would be
If not,
shocked
in
if
this
they
wins
don't
this
have a
game.
pass. But the way that they're thinking and not throwing it right away, it's not clear.
You tell me you can't get at least 1 road?
Well, there's the road.
You need to at least
The wood for the brick. Settlement.
what the settlement, not the row. Get the 2 points. Baffling if they pass this dice. Baffling.
Yeah,
No,
you're not
no one's
getting
gonna
that
trade with
trade.
you.
You're
What?
not getting
Come
that trade.
on. A costly mistake. Oh no. Anish just won this game. Has to. He has to have one behind. You can't let no one's gonna trade with you.
Yeah, being
Wow.
that it's a
That's a
tournament where
blunder.
tiebreaker is VP, you need to lock up 2 points there regardless. And also, you build an extra road, force it to 6, and Anish has to build 3 roads to win.
That was my point more, is that Anish would have to get another road on top of it, which would be very hard unless he rolls the 4 here. Or I guess a 9 so he can get more. Wow, I think it's over. No matter what. I mean, we'll see in a sec,
7?
but that's baffling.
7?
No, no one's gonna trade with you.
Yeah, that might have
That's
been
trading
a
the game. I
costly
mean,
mistake.
we're calling collusion if they make this trade. Like it's
I don't even think it's collusion because at this point, like we said, it's the front horse race. Blue already fell out, and there's a nick in the chat. Don't trade with her; she'll win. That's one road, and he knows it. 3-1. I don't care. I'm not taking it.
Anish, I'll win either way on my turn, but don't trade with her.
Yeah. I'll win
The
on my
oldest
turn,
trick in the
barring
book.
a 7. Oh, Anish has
The
to get the
oldest trick.
5-6 of not rolling a 7.
Oh no!
No, Anish.
Oh no!
No.
He had it in his hand. No, that's so hurtful.
Does he
The
still
road
have
here, you
it?
still have to go for it.
Does
Yeah.
he still have it?
Right. He has to block red here. Try to go for brick. Maybe that 4. You don't want red to get anything for road material. So much for road materials. There's so many great numbers. There it is.
Thinking,
Okay.
who has a brick?
There's the brick. 2 roads. You got a brick from it? There's 1. There's 2. Oh, we called it.
Yes, a
Oh, we
big
called
steal
it.
by Anish.
Oh, what a game.
And he had 2 VPs in hand. He gets an 11-point win. Wow, that's huge.
Wow,
for
he's sitting on
tiebreakers.
1. I still can't believe that game. I mean, it was a blunder in my eyes. Still, they get the 2 points and force Anish to have 3 roads to win the game, which obviously, if the 7 came, it wouldn't have gotten there. So, wow, costly mistake, but what a game, what a turn.
Yeah, I mean, that's a phenomenal game all around. I think that I'm very happy to see how it finished. I'm glad that it came down to the wire. And just to take a look at all these stats, we got the dice stats, and we see we had a pretty normal distribution. There were no 2s. That hurts my heart. But, I mean, Anish, again, the 5s popped off a little more than they needed to, and that was enough for him. I mean, that kind of tells the story at the end of the day. Resource stats, Anish taking in the most, Noodle just taking in the second most, and just a tough game for Blue all around. Just Blue only picked up 41 cards the entire time, and you're not going to win a game.
I mean, we said it right away. We said it right away from the beginning. That was going to be a tough game, and kudos to them to prolong the game too, as long as they could. But again, I mean, I can't get over that last 5 minutes. That was I can't get. I want to see another game right now. That was enough to get me
another
going.
Game. We're ready to commentate. Keep it going.
Getting a second VP there, that's clutch. We could bank on 1, so our assessment's the same regardless. But wow, it's just not building a road there. If this was over the board, I might be throwing fist sheen. It's you might have been I would have been so puzzled and not know what to say. And then someone would have said, wait, I didn't mean to do that. And we would have pulled the oldest trick in the book. Sorry, the road's down. And they wouldn't have been able to do anything.
It's down. It's too late.
It's down, right? Call me.
Can't undo it. Once you let go of it, it counts. Can't take the resources back.
So that's, baffling. But what a game. Pleasure to be here. First time commentating a game. Great way to come into it. Looking forward for the rest of it.
Well, Albert, it's great to have you. A great game for us to see, and To all of our fans, drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe. It's going to help the channel. If you want to join in on these Catan tournaments, comment, let us know. We're trying to grow as much as we can. Other than that, have a good one.